What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters, Daniel Roden, Apache Overlord, Alec Eccentric, Tech Snow, Ross Lingard, and John. Thank you all so much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to check out the link down below to find out more. Thanks again. Okay, need to clear up something with you all. Chad and I, we came up together in high school, and we were both in the theater production crew called the 9 O'Clock Club. Pretty much the high school, like our high school version of the theater troupe. And we went on trips up to New York, and we got to see all sorts of stuff while we were up there. We got to see Broadway plays, which got to see Phantom of the Opera, got to see Aida, got to see Beauty and the Beast, got to see Wicked, and there was one that a lot of people said we missed out on because it finished up its record-making run before we got up there. And that musical was one called Cats. And I never got to see Cats on stage, but I did get to see a film version of it. It was the theater. It was one of the last run of the theater troupe, or the theater that ran it. They did a film version of it, and I watched it, and was a little bit horrified, a little bit intrigued, but overall, I was just like, it was okay. So Hollywood got the bright idea, hey, let's do a film version of this. For those of you wondering, Broadway musicals have had a, let's say, spotty history when it comes to being adapted onto screen. Not now, telemarketer. Not now. But, to name off a few, Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum and Patrick Wilson. Overall, not good, but not terrible. It was it was just under decent, in my opinion. Chicago, what a lot of people consider to be the best musical adaptation of the 20th century, I must agree, it's actually really good. Mamma Mia, what a lot of people consider to be the revitalization of musicals in modern day cinema. I don't see it. And then, of course, you have oh boy. Me being in theater class in college, I had to watch a lot of very bad like film versions. By no means were they any comparison to the Broadway originals. Have you ever heard of Cats, Nick?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Cats?
No. I've seen scenes from it, and only when I was a little kid, and all I remember is kind of what they look like. And when I was a kid, I was like, this looks really cool, because it was just like fascinating to me that it was like people in like weird cat costumes, I guess. But as an adult, I kind of forgot this existed until just now, and I don't know what the hell it is.
I know
or what
one
it's
community.
about,
I know one community who's gonna flip the hell out over this movie.
Or why? What's the appeal? I don't really know. I will say that, as a rule, I think musicals are probably one of the worst genres of play/film. There are only two that I really enjoy, and that's Repo the Genetic Opera and Sweeney Todd. So,
well, okay. I like Broadway musicals in some ways. There's some I think are overblown and overrated.
I just don't like too much the concept of singing the entire story almost.
Well,
and at the same time, it's also,
like
I usually don't really enjoy the musical selection at all either. Like, because part of the reason that I liked Well, part of the reason that I like Sweeney Todd was not necessarily because of the musical composition, but more for the lyrics and the story and the darkness of it all. Like,
Well, yeah.
but Repo, it's like the music is actually badass.
Well,
And that's like a
there's
rarity
certain
for
cases
me
where the
for-
music is very badass. For me, Phantom of the Opera has
Phantom of the Opera has one or two pretty cool songs.
yeah, some of the most metal stuff in there, especially old school type metal, you know, like orchestrations and all that. And then, of course, for me, another one that also has really good musical numbers in it, Rent, which I know a lot of people rag
See,
on
Rent's
Rent.
one of those things that people have tried to show me, and I'm just like, I don't see the fucking appeal to this at all.
That's fair. That's fair. But me, I've watched Rent. I saw a production of it, and I like it okay. But let's just see what this movie has to offer. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid. Let's get to it. Here we go. This is Cats. Like I said, I know one community that's going to flip the hell out over this movie.
The furry community?
Yeah.
Gross. You know what
Judy
other
Dench.
movie has a milk bar? That's also pretty disturbing.
What?
Clockwork Orange.
Oh, that's right.
That's what that made me think of. It is disturbing for a lot of different reasons, though, from that.
A Rum Tum Tugger.
Here we go!
The Sophones. Oh, is he playing the cavity?
That song is familiar.
Memory All Alone in the Moonlight, yeah.
Are you going to try for a different life?
A new day has begun.
All right. So some of the designs are a little bit iffy. Some of the It's just the first trailer. This is just the first trailer. I need to remind myself. Okay.
I don't get it. At all.
It's
Why? Why was it originally a thing?
Originally, it was a thing because it was trying to see the world from the view of cats. How cats see the world. How cats... how there's a hierarchy among cats in some ways, which science has shown that's actually true. But...
So someone pitched this idea to their friends and family and was like, I have an idea. Why don't we make a musical about cats? And nobody was like, about cats? And it's like, yeah, like, and then basically what you just said, and nobody was like, yeah, that sounds really dumb.
Well, okay.
It's like, it's, I don't know. I'm just biased, I guess, because I'm biased against musicals. But if you're going to make something and make all of the characters cats, the only thing that makes sense to me in that aspect is like a cartoon or like a 3D animation. Like,
yeah, I think that
it's
would
just
work
fucking
probably
weird
better.
with like people
But-
playing cats and weird cat costumes.
Tom Hooper, the guy who directed this, is also the guy who directed a version of Les Mis, Les Miserables, which a lot of people consider to be, in some ways, amazing,
It's
but in
another
other
one
ways,
I've tried to give a chance and was just like,
well, one thing that killed it for me was Russell Crowe. I saw him and I was just like, I was like, okay, I'll give this a chance, and then all of a sudden it's just like his singing style was very bad. I love you, Russell Crowe, and I know you could probably kick my ass, but no, it was not good singing. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. That's just what's in my heart right now. With this, they got a great cast. I mean, not sure about Rebel Wilson, but
I mean, that's debatable on Taylor Swift as well.
oh yeah, I forgot she was in this. But
If I have to hear
Jennifer Hudson.
if I have to hear Taylor Swift sing, I'm definitely not going to go see it.
Well, yeah, and she does have. Yeah, I think the character she plays does have a couple of songs where she sings. But Jennifer Hudson, that I always found her to be like awesome, and she was actually in a Broadway musical adaptation that was actually really good, Dreamgirls, which is actually has some really good. It actually presents it more as the performer, the people who sing are singing on a stage for people, as part of the thing, and it's like a tribute to the early days of Motown and James Brown and all that. It's actually one of my favorite musical movie adaptations, and also one of my favorite musicals.
Sounds like it could be all right.
Oh yeah, it's good, and plus it's got Eddie Murphy as a version of as sort of an amalgamation between Little Richard, Wilson Pickett, and James Brown. A man by the name of James Thunder Early, and he has a song in the movie called Jimmy Got Soul, where he sings he said, Jimmy want a rib, Jimmy want a steak, Jimmy want a piece of your chocolate cake. Like good
One
shit.
of my big problems
good
with musicals as well, besides just the not liking the story sung to you basically as much, as just the concepts and the stories behind them just hardly ever sound that interesting to me.
Well, that's just fair. I mean,
That's why Repo immediately jumped out at me, because all my friend had to say was basically in the future, you have to finance your organs, and if you don't make your payments, somebody will come and take them back out of you while you're still alive. And I'm like, that sounds brutal as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Let's go. And then we're also the soundtrack's industrial metal, and I was like, I'm probably gonna actually like this.
Fair enough. So, are y'all wanting to see this? I mean, in the comment section down below, I'm indifferent, but I'm leaning towards a no on this. But I'm okay. I'm leaning towards no, but I'm willing to see what else this movie has to offer in some ways, I guess. But
this is just one of those things that
but Nick is not interested.
Probably won't care about
Probably
at
will
all.
not watch. Probably will not care about me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm indifferent. I'll have to see whenever whenever I see more of it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this one. We hope that you enjoyed or questioned things.
And the weird thing is, I really like cats.
I like cats too.
Not
It's
the
just-
musical, but I like cats.
I've
Cats
got a
are
cat.
awesome.
I'm a cat owner. I've got
Yeah.
Lucy. Lucy's a chubby bunny, and I love her to death. Ugh, God. All
This
right.
just seems like a strange thing to do with cats to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
All
rather
right.
watch the Aristocats, honestly. Actually,
I would not mind a musical version of that, especially if it's like ragtime and jazz and shit like they have in the movie. Oh, actually, it is a musical.
yeah, to
because
an extent. Yeah,
Everybody wants to be a cat.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
But it's a cartoon, so it's
Yeah, and it works,
endearing.
like,
it's not
sometimes
creepy.
It works better. Yeah, sometimes it works better as a cartoon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this. This was the Cat's Fish trailer. We will see you all the next one. Until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
And we'll see you then. Peace out.